Good day. Welcome to another episode of Classic Dallas Cowboys Talk. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ is Lord. Let's get right into it. So, I was reading something on the 1992 NFC Championship game where Kevin Smith was talking trash to Jerry Rice. Okay, Kevin Smith was supposedly talking trash to Jerry Rice the whole game. Jerry Rice did have a good game. He had like 8 catches for 123 yards and a touchdown. And at one point, Charles Haley went over to Kevin Smith and said, "Hey, you can't talk to Jerry Rice like that. That's Jerry Rice." Kevin Smith looked at Charles Haley and said, "Hey, who are you? Who are you? Are you rooting for them? You might as well go over back to their side." So Kevin Smith was supremely confident, to say the least, because he and Michael Irvin would battle in practice. It was said that he and Michael Irvin would battle in practice, have some of the most intense fights in practice, okay? And so, but what's interesting about that is one play into the game, San Francisco had the ball first that game. So one play into the game, Kevin Smith hurt his shoulder. And guess who they bring in? Isaac Holt, the man he replaced in the starting lineup, okay? Late in the season. So a couple of plays later, Steve Young throws a touchdown pass to Jerry Rice. And guess who got beat? Isaac Holt. There was just one small problem with that. The touchdown didn't count because they called holding on San Francisco. So that touchdown didn't count. And guess who comes back into the game after that play? Kevin Smith. I don't think it's a coincidence that Kevin Smith came back into the game after Isaac Holt got beat for that touchdown. So Kevin Smith comes back into the game. Steve Young throws another long pass to Odessa Turner. And Kevin Smith is covering Odessa Turner. And the crowd was booing. And L. Hansen was like, "I don't know how the crowd is booing. That was just very good coverage by Kevin Smith." And so Cowboys win 30-20. Kelvin Martin game-winning touchdown pass from Troy Aikman. But there was a funny moment that happened after the game was over, okay? Daryl Johnston talked about this. He said, after San Francisco defeated Washington a previous week, J.C. Sapolu says, "That's right, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Candlestick. And we go down if we beat San Francisco. You're going to your first Super Bowl. You're achieving a childhood dream. Yet amidst all that, Mark Tuinei goes up to J.C. Sapolu and says, 'Hey, Jesse, thanks for the directions.'" And Daryl Johnston was like, "You know what? You are pretty much unbelievable. You thought about that before the game, didn't you?" Yeah, so Mark Tuinei went up to Jesse Sapolu and said, "Hey, Jesse, thanks for the directions." So, yeah. There was a fight that took place in leading up to Super Bowl 27, okay? A couple of Cowboys were at the bar that the Bills were at. So the Bills and Cowboys were at the same bar, okay? And so it was said that a couple of the Bills were drinking heavily. Jim Kelly, I think it was Jim Kelly or Bruce Smith or somebody like that. And it was said that they were making fun of Magic Johnson, who had retired because he had HIV. And one of Magic's bodyguards was standing nearby. And eventually a fight broke out. Okay? A fight broke out. And eventually Darryl Talley ended up getting punched in the face. And Darryl Talley was bloodied. Okay? And so apparently a few of the Cowboys saw that confrontation. And Kevin Smith, who was there, said that would never be us, okay? Us Cowboys players, we look out for each other. And so Darryl Talley is wearing shades. Darryl Talley is wearing shades during warm-ups. during Super Bowl 27. And I was wondering why he was wearing shades in warm-ups. Now you kind of know the story behind that, okay? And so Cowboys win 52-17. Before the game, Alvin Harper predicted he would haul in the winning touchdown, a 60-yard touchdown, okay? Well, let's fast forward to the fourth quarter. Aikman drops back. He throws the winning touchdown to Alvin Harper. Alvin Harper gets back to the bench, and NFL Films has that great shot of, oh, yeah. And Alvin Harper's like, yeah, I told you. How far was it? Then somebody told him it was 56. He said, damn. I said hit 60, but it was 56. So Alvin Harper was off by 4 yards, okay? But it was still the game winner, nonetheless. And the Bills hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher all year long, okay? Through the regular season, through the postseason. And that was until they faced the Cowboys and Emmitt Smith. I remember he had a 38-yard run in the second quarter, okay? Yeah, he had a 38-yard run in the second quarter that led to a Michael Irvin touchdown, okay? And Jay Novacek called a touchdown. Alvin Harper called a touchdown. Ken Norton returned a fumble for a touchdown. I was about to say something else. The most turnovers in a Super Bowl game, Buffalo Bills. They had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, but 9 turnovers. Look it up. Okay. Most turnovers in the Super Bowl game, Buffalo Bills, 9. You would say, what? Look it up. Buffalo Bills had 9 turnovers in that Super Bowl. It's true. 9 turnovers. Okay. 9 turnovers. Let me see if I can remember them all. Jim Kelly threw an interception when Kenny Gant came off of a blitz. Okay. Jim Kelly threw an interception in the end zone to James Washington. Okay. Let's see. Thurman Thomas had a fumble that the Cowboys recovered. Steve Tasker had a fumble in the fourth quarter. Frank Wright had a fumble in the fourth quarter that led to Ken Norton returning it for a touchdown. And that's all. And that's it. Those are the only fumbles I can remember. Those are the only turnovers I can remember. But Buffalo had 9 turnovers. I've heard it all along. I've heard it all along. Maybe I need to go back and watch that game to see the turnovers they had. Okay. But yeah, Troy Aikman outrushed Thurman Thomas 28-19. And then, in case you didn't hear me again, Troy Aikman outrushed Thurman Thomas by 9 yards, 28-19. Yeah. When the quarterback outrushes one of the best running backs in the Super Bowl, yeah, that's insult to injury. That's an insult to injury right there. I was about to say something. Oh yeah. So in the 1990 draft, okay, the Cowboys took Emmitt Smith, but many people don't know that the first player that they really wanted was James Francis. He was a linebacker out of Baylor, okay? So the Cowboys were not interested in Emmitt Smith, all right? They weren't interested in Emmitt Smith. They were more interested in taking James Francis, a linebacker, okay? But the Cincinnati Bengals, who were picking ahead of Dallas, got him, okay? And there was a running back who also went in the top 10. His name was Blair Thomas. He went to the Jets. Okay. So Emmitt Smith went later in the first round to the Cowboys. We all know how Emmitt Smith's career turned out. Okay. But let's rewind it back to Blair Thomas for a second. Okay. Blair Thomas spent 4 years with the Jets. Okay. And his career turned out nowhere near top 10 pick would. Okay. The 4 years he spent with the Jets didn't pan out. He didn't pan out. So let's fast forward to 1994. Emmitt Smith is having hamstring issues the entire year. He's been having hamstring issues the entire year. And so in the divisional playoff against Green Bay, Emmitt Smith hurt his hamstring. Okay. And so guess who comes in for him? Blair Thomas. Yes. Yes. That Blair Thomas. Yes. Top 10 1990 draft pick Blair Thomas. Yes. I believe they signed him late in the season. Okay. And he rushed for 70 yards and scored a touchdown. He sure did. He sure did. And so Blair Thomas would say, hey, later, my career didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be, but I'll always have the head day. Yeah. So 70 yards, scored a touchdown in that game. Not to mention the 94-yard touchdown pass that Troy Aikman threw to Alvin Harper. Yeah. Longest touchdown pass in NFL postseason history. Yeah. Just go back and look at that Aikman bomb to Harper. Okay. And guess who he beat on that play? Some guy by the name of George Teague. Yeah, he played for the Green Bay Packers. The same George Teague who wrecked the Minnesota Vikings in the 1996 NBA. I was about to say NBA playoffs. The same George Teague who wrecked the Minnesota Vikings in the 96 playoffs. Yeah, that George Teague. Okay. All right. That's it. And that's all for Classic Dallas Cowboys Talk. I'm Sean Farrell. May God bless you all. I am out of here. Be blessed, y'all.